Morning, welcome back to another video. Welcome to a new week. Like, it's now time to focus on a new week, to focus on like my next races, my next goals, and to put last weekend behind us. Like, it's done now. You know, it's time to move on. Yeah, I'm out today, going to do about 3 hours. Just going to start with some zone 2. Just do an hour or so of just riding around. Then I'm going to head over to Asher's Beacon and do some 10-minute efforts up there. It's not ideal because it's only like 8 minutes, so I've got to start like on the flat before the climb and then go into the climb, do 8 minutes up the climb and make it up to 10 minutes altogether. But within like a 10-mile radius, it's the longest climb that we've got. So yeah, I've done about 40 minutes of riding, done about another 20 minutes of easy pedaling, and then the fun begins. That's three out of 5. Ooh. I'm starting to get a bit tired now. I just want to get, like, whenever I'm doing a number of efforts or a number of intervals, I always like to get at least halfway, and then I know from then on in I'm closer to the finish than I am the start. So yeah, 3 out of 5 done. It's rolling down now for effort number 4. The hardest bit about these efforts isn't the 10-minute that 10-minute threshold of the climb. It's actually like I'm doing sprints over the top, like just a 30-second max sprint at the end of the effort. And see when your legs are fatigued after the end of that 10 minutes. It's so hard. Look at that, typical. Set off this morning, it was pretty cloudy and quite cold. Now that I finished my efforts, I'm riding home. The sun's, well, actually the sun's not come out. The sun's trying to come out though. But yeah, 5 out of 5 done. I think I'm getting pretty good at riding on feel now. Still haven't got my power meter sorted. I'm waiting for a new bottom bracket to arrive before I put it in. But I feel like I'm actually getting quite good at just pacing from feel more than anything. I would say heart rate, but I'm not even really pacing off heart rate. It's just more feel. And like in hindsight, looking back, it might not have been, like, these past few weeks might not have been such a bad thing, pacing from sort of feel, because then I'm starting to learn a bit more about what I can do without relying on the power meter, and actually sort of thinking about what I can do sort of physically. But yeah, I'm rolling home now. We're so slow. Zone 0. I reckon, like, I'm just gonna invent my own zone. I'm riding home with zone 0. And at the minute, I'm not even pedaling. I'm just gonna try and freewheel for as long as possible. Okay, so those GoPro clips were what I just salvaged from yesterday's ride. The rest of the clips were just awful. You couldn't hear me, it's just too much wind noise, and yeah, it was pretty much just obsolete footage that I couldn't use. So for today's ride, I brought out my big camera, which I can do today because I've not got any real intense efforts. It's just some tempo and whatnot, so like, it's not too bad for today. But it kind of leaves me in a difficult position because at the minute I've not really got another option. I can't, like, I wanted to try and use the GoPro to sort of for this on bike vlogging thing, but the GoPro just doesn't really cut it. I have got an idea. There's a new camera being released in a couple of weeks, and like, I think it's going to be perfect for like what I want to use it for. But yeah, like I said, that's not been released for another couple of weeks. So for now, I don't know, just have to make do with what we've got. Maybe use my phone a bit. But the GoPro, I just think is out of the question, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, Tuesday today. I'm gonna do about 2 hours this morning. I've just got to do a tempo effort right now, but I don't really want to carry this camera with me whilst I do it. So I've come down to like a local road race circuit called Bickerstaff. It's just a 10-minute lap, and it's a decent place to do your longer efforts. So whilst I do those efforts, I'm just going to leave the camera in a bush here, hidden, and hopefully no one takes it. It's just a little bit of an inconvenience having it on my back. It should be alright. Stay there. That's all of my efforts done for today. I've done about an hour of riding now. Just going to do another hour to cruise home. I bumped bumped into Rosie, jumped on the back of her. She's doing some efforts, hence why we're going so fast. So I'm just going to sit here, get towed along. Woo! So there's this new cafe that's just opened like a couple of weeks ago. We're riding past it and it says cyclist welcome, so we're going to check it out. Pretty much just a standard cafe, nothing real special about it, but there's a sign outside that says they welcome cyclists, so I'm more than happy to go there. I just left Rosie. Right now I'm going to do 15 more minutes of riding, then head home, then I'll take it up to 2 hours. Alright, welcome to the second portion, the second part, or the second segment of today's video. Made a last minute decision to come down to Alton Park, which is a motor racing circuit, and do the Tuesday night race here. There's no race on at Lancaster, which is the race that I normally do, so I wasn't going to race today, and then I found out there was this race on, so yeah. It's just your conventional 1 hour crit around a motor racing circuit. It should be dead safe. Decent road surface, wide. It's quite windy tonight though, and it's quite an exposed circuit, so it should make for an interesting evening. Alright, very aggressive race. Moves went from pretty much the start of the race, and that was pretty much the last time that I saw the bunch. Like, as with different groups, riders got dropped. I actually got dropped at one stage from like the very front group, and then, you know, different riders bridged across to us, and eventually, you know, I got away with a group of 4 guys, 4 real strong guys. And as you saw there, before that final little climb, the pace really dropped off, and Matt swung off to the left. The rider behind me had left a little bit of a gap, so I thought, you know, that was my opportunity to try and jump and go off solo, and that's what I did. Luckily that finishing straight was a tailwind, so I knew if I got that gap it would be very, very hard to shut it, and yeah, that's exactly what it was. I just went full gas from that attack. It was like a 1 minute effort. I was very much fading at the finish. I'm just happy to come across the line for the win and back up last Saturday's result as well. So yeah, 2 races, 2 wins, Alton Park. Thanks for coming.